Hello, my name is Waith Mullins, and today I'm going to show you how to take pastel chips, pretty much unusable, and turn them into a nice new stick of pastel. All it takes is a piece of plate glass, a putty knife, smaller blade to clean it with, and some alcohol. So what do you say? Let's get started. The first thing that we need to do is to smash all of the chips and chunks down to as close to a powder as we can get. I'm sure you notice the range of colors that are in the chips that are being made into a new pastel. You can never tell at this point what the color is going to look like when you're done. You'll see my plate glass moving around from time to time. Since recording this, I bought a non-skid mat to prevent that. Now I begin adding the alcohol to the powder, and I'll work it with the putty knife until I get a paste that's appropriate for forming into a new pastel. This will take several minutes, and I'll add alcohol to the mix on a number of occasions. And in hot weather, I'll also add a little water to the alcohol, and that helps to slow down the evaporation and keeps the paste workable for a little longer. I tend to work in a sequence of related colors, perhaps from light to dark or from bright to dull. I find that the residue from one batch has absolutely no effect on the batch that follows it, so it saves me a lot of cleaning time. I manipulate the paste in a number of different ways, but my overall goal is a smooth paste with no chips or dried pastels still in it. I mentioned a paste appropriate to making pastels from. What exactly does that mean? Well, it's kind of a Goldilocks affair. You want it not too wet and not too dry. If it's too dry, you'll see it cracking in your hand. If it's too wet, it'll be sticking to your fingers. So you need a paste that's just at that right spot in between, where it's still easily manipulated and rolled into a stick, but not so that it's sticking to your hands and coming off on your fingers. As you can see, making pastels from chips can take a while. There's a transition that follows where I've removed a minute of mixing to shorten things up a bit. I usually form the pastels by hand, shaping them between my fingers and then only rolling them slightly on the glass. I'll show you on the second one the more conventional method, using a piece of cardboard with paper wrapped around it. I found that when I use that method, it often will crack down the center when it's dried, so I generally shape them as you see here. By habit, I probably shaped this second pastel longer than would be conventional. The cardboard that I'm using is really just a piece of scrap mat board wrapped in a piece of paper. Okay, we're back. It's a day later. Our pastel is dried, and I thought we would try it out and see how it is. You can see it goes on well. It's not a real intense color, but probably quite useful. Blends well. During this project, I made 3 other yellows, so let's see how they worked out. This one covers well, applies nicely, and I'm sure that it blends as well. Very similar to the first yellow there is this one. Also very similar behavior. And we have this nice yellow light, pretty intense, and it applies quite well as well and blends well. Okay, so you know how to do it now. Take all those chips or that pastel dust you've been collecting and make yourself some new pastels. Thank you very much. Bye.